How's it? If you clicked on this video, that means that you probably want to go surf fishing at some point in your life. If that is the case, I want to help you avoid some of the problems that I ran into when I started surf fishing, such as where to go surf fishing, when to go surf fishing, how to tie a jig, all sorts of issues. I want to help you avoid these issues. Let me pretense this by saying I'm by no means a professional surf fisherman. I've caught a few fish out of the ocean, though I do feel I have learned enough to help a complete novice with starting the hobby. So if you have anything you want to add, please write it in the comments. If you feel like I got something wrong, add it in the comments and I will discuss it in the next video. The topic for today's video is what rod and reel combo I would suggest you start with. Rod wise, I use this here. It's a 410 centimeter medium action Daiwa rod. It breaks into 3 pieces, which is pretty cool. It makes it easy to store, makes it easy to fit into my little car. And yeah, it's honestly, it's a beefy rod. It can cast up to 5-ounce lures easily, like it's nothing. So I have no complaints about this rod. However, that being said, an article by On the Water, I'll link it below, suggests that you start with a 10-foot moderate action rod. They say that you start with that, it's more versatile to fish with, and you can specialize going forward. I highly agree with this. Starting off with a massive 13-foot rod like this one can be scary. A 10-foot is a lot more forgiving and it's a much smoother learning curve than the 13-foot. The average bass fisherman would hear these rod lengths that I'm talking about and think, whoa, why on earth are we using such a long rod? Well, that's because when you're bass fishing, you don't have to deal with massive waves. We use long rods to cast out further over the break, and also when you put it in your rod holder, it just helps to keep your line out of the break and keep the ocean from pulling your lures back in or your jigs back in. As for reels, I use this monster over here. I got it for Christmas a while back. It's still quite new, but I love this. This is made by Adrenaline Fishing Products. It's got a gear ratio of 4.9 to 1 and it holds 150 yards of 30-pound line, which is what I've got on here. Let's talk about the line first. I find 30-pound line it's strong and it's still thin enough for you to feel like you're casting a regular rod. So I do suggest starting with 30-pound line. It won't break necessarily on anything. I haven't lost any fish yet while fishing in the ocean, so I highly suggest starting with 30-pound line. You could go higher, but it just changes the casting dynamics. But 30-pound, I would rate is a good starting point. Now let me go back to the reel. This is a size 7,000 reel, so it's a beefy boy. But if you go and Google or ask around, most people recommend that you only need a size 5,000 reel. I don't have one here for demonstration, but a size 5,000 reel would be plenty to start with. Actually, I may have a size 5,000, hang on. Alright, so I'm not too sure about the size of this one here. I think it's a 5,000, but this is what I started with, and this is what I caught this shad on. It's also, I have no complaints, you know, anything over 5,000, it'll hold enough line and it'll have plenty of stopping power when fighting big fish. And that's really all you want. You want a reel big enough to hold enough line so that you can cast far, and you want enough power to be able to fight a big fish. So if you enjoyed this video, do give me a like and subscribe. If you want to add anything, add it in the comments. And in the next video, we are going to be discussing tackle. What tackle you need to start and how to tie your jigs. Thanks for watching and cheers.